everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the Imps View podcast show with me, Cornell B, live direct, back again. And I'm going to tell you my reaction to Freddie Draper is back. But before I speak about Freddie Draper and the other players who have left Lincoln City, I've got to say, thank you so much to the 473 subscribers who are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for doing this. It is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. It just means the world. Keep on smashing your likes, leaving your comments, leaving your reactions and everything, and leaving your opinions in the comment box below. It's absolutely appreciated. Keep on doing that and stuff like that. Thank you so much. It's unbelievable. So let's get into it. So Freddie Draper is back. He has been recalled from his loan spell at Walsall. 10 goals this season on his loan spell. I got to be honest. I got to be honest from the start. I wasn't quite sure if it was wise bringing him back. But then when you really think about it, we've got a striker in the building. And it's going to be very interesting to see if Skubala actually plays him next week. I would definitely play him for sure. But seeing Freddie Draper back is fantastic, you know. And reason is because Freddie Draper is going to fight for his place. He's been showing what he can do in League Two. He's been gaining all his experiences in League Two, and he's been showing the qualities and the ability of a goal-scoring striker. I will be interested to see if he plays against Wickham next week, because obviously Skubala is going to be thinking in his head, well, who do I start? Do I start Draper up front? Do I start, McCarmer up front? These are type of questions that Skubala is going to be asking. But seeing Freddie Draper back is fantastic. And, fantastic for him to be recalled and for him to gain all his experience and everything like that. And I've got to be honest, it is fantastic to see him back. For me, I would love to see Freddie Draper and Moylan and Hackett on both wings. And then obviously Mandroyu on the right as well when he comes back from his suspension. I'll be very interested to see what happens with Freddie Draper. Are we going to see Freddie Draper play? I know there was talk about him having an injury and he didn't really play that long against Grimsby and had to be substituted, which is understandable. And, obviously I know that Walsall didn't really want to risk him being too injured and stuff like that. But one thing I will say is that Freddie Draper is gonna be a star. He is showing the qualities and the abilities of a goal-scoring striker. 10 goals this season for Walsall. That is the start that us Lincoln City can really be excited for. And not only that, fingers crossed that Skubala obviously plays him, because I want to see him being played, because I feel like he's got the talent to be something special and really go further with his career. And, Freddie Draper is a goal-scoring machine. Can score goals at the age of 19 years old. Yes, there might be talks of pressure on him, but we don't want to put too much pressure on him and then the pressure gets too much. Even though there's talk about maybe having another striker involved and maybe having a short-term deal striker to come in and help the young stars that we have in our team. But one thing I will say is that Freddie Draper will gain his experiences by playing League One football. And when you gain League One football, it shows that you are willing to adapt to your game. And I believe that Freddie Draper will adapt to his game. And I believe that when I see one in Freddie Draper, it's the talent and the ability that he has. And Freddie Draper is the start and the beginning, because Freddie Draper is here to really gain more experiences. He's here to play, even though, yes, he signed a new contract and, before his loan spell at Walsall. But what he has shown is that he's willing to achieve more great success as a striker. And not only that, he's willing to put himself out there on the pitch and make his talent so known. And if I was Draper right now, I'll keep on training harder, stronger than ever, And when the opportunity, and keep taking your opportunity. And if the opportunity is for him to play against Warsaw, so be it. I would not be surprised if he gets added into the starting 11 against Warsaw. Put Moylan, put Hackett on both wings, and they will absolutely tear the place down. But me, Cornell B, is so happy to see Freddie Draper being recalled back to Lincoln City. And, you know, as he said, it's about him fighting for his place and really earning his place in Skubala's plans, fitting the style of play that Skubala wants him to play and the formation that he wants to play in. And, you know, as long as he's getting the playing time here with us, obviously, yes, I could still probably see him playing instead of Makama. But look, here's the thing. Freddie Draper knows where the goal is. Give him the ball and he will score. And I see Freddie Draper really achieving some great things with us. Yes, there is talk of maybe another striker being added. But obviously, yes, 2 strikers. Obviously, I think we need one. I need a lone striker and maybe a short-term deal striker just to take the pressure off Freddie Draper. But Freddie Draper is showing, you know, throughout all his experiences in the League of Ireland, which was the best loan success that he can obviously ask for. Loan success with Warsaw this season in League 2, that he is destined for more. And the more destined that Freddie Draper is, the more better that Freddie Draper is going to be. And I'm rooting for Freddie Draper this year. This new year is going to be Freddie Draper's year to really, really get into the team and really make his presence known in the box. Give him the ball and he'll score. And I won't be surprised. Put him against Wickham and he'll get the goals. But obviously, listen, fantastic to see Freddie Draper back. And Freddie Draper wasn't the only one that turned up. We saw departures from Lincoln City. We saw Morgan Horsfield Gregg make his way out of the club. We saw Donnery make his way out of the club despite signing a scholarship deal contract for him to be with the club, but it wasn't working. We saw Jack Vale leave Lincoln City and has been recalled by Blackburn. Look, here's my view on it. First of all, I will say that it wasn't working for Jack Vale. Jack Vale obviously was a Mark Kennedy signing, long even before Mark Kennedy's sacking. And the fact of the matter is, he's featured only twice, and obviously scored 2 goals this season. He featured against Charlton, featured against Cambridge, and then of course, you know, his appearances have been off the bench. And it don't make sense in signing loaning a player out who is not going to get playing time and who's not in the manager / the head coach's starting 11 or in his plans. It's better to get a player that is going to feature in your plans, in your starting 11, and that is going to get the playing time they deserve. And Jack Vale, it wasn't working for him. And, you know, it's disappointing, but you have to see facts and you got to be honest about it and say, well, is it the right loan move? But it's not only just at him. It's all players who are on loan and who are looking to walk into a team like us, Lincoln City, despite we are the land of opportunities that gives young players the opportunity for them to excel themselves and to improve as a player. But it's about bringing the right loan players and getting it right. And Skubala will get it right this year. He will get it right and he will improve us and bring, you know, the experience quality that he wants. Because you can clearly see he wants experience in our team. And we will get it, of course. But it's got to be right. And he will get it right. But Jack Vale, obviously, you know, I'll be very interested to see who replaces Jack Vale. If you're thinking of possible replacements, and if I was Skubala right now, I'll be looking at players like Mateo Joseph. I'll be looking at Callum Marshall. You know, these are the type of replacements, and possibly Joe Taylor is a possible replacement. And you look at those type of 3 and maybe a 4th one as well, possibly. You look at these maybe 3 or 4 replacements, and you're thinking, well, which one of those are going to replace Jack Vale? Do you go with Mateo Joseph? Do you go with Callum Marshall? All these things you got to think about as a head coach. But Skubala will use his connections very, very well. He'll use the free agent list very well and see what type of players are to come in. But loan-wise, he'll go in the Premier League, see what they've got, see what young talents they got. I mean, you look at it, maybe, as I said, a Callum Marshall would fit this team really well. But we have to trust Skubala and the young talent of players that he wants to bring in. He will use his Leeds connections surely and say, look, there are a few faces that needs to be added. Mateo Joseph is definitely one of them. I've always rated that guy, and I know he's been making his appearances off the bench, hasn't really featured for Leeds. He's more featured for the England team, for the under-20. So it would be ideal to see Mateo Joseph at Lincoln City, or even not. Maybe a Callum Marshall would be the one to look at. But yes, there was no brainer behind Jack Vale's leaving the club. Freddie Shodipo obviously was the next one to leave Lincoln City. My reactions to that, obviously it weren't working. And, obviously best memories of him was scoring against Derby when we drew 2-2, which it was almost 3-2 to them, but we managed to get a draw. Terrorizing Wickham, terrorizing Plymouth. Those were the moments that we could look for. We could, remember Shodipo by. Some didn't really rate him. Some did. But listen, at the end of the day, his match fitness wasn't really getting into the vibe that we were expecting him to basically, feed off on. But one thing for sure, I think right now this is the opportunity for Skubala to go into the transfer window market, go into the market and really look what type of quality players that we're going to add. If we had any player to replace him, I would say maybe a Roman Curtis would be ideal. Looking at loans as well, possible loans is like Pavida, Chen Campbell, a Taylor Richards, or a Shola Shota. They are the possible ones. Or even Charlie Kirk as well, who's a free agent. Looking at maybe guys like him would be ideal. But I think if you really look at it, I would love to see Roman Curtis at Lincoln. Roman Curtis would be a very, very class addition, replacement for Shodipo to come in because, I mean, he's been working hard to get him back to injury. And obviously he's training at AFC Wimbledon. And I think if we were to add him, it would be outstanding. I think the next ones that I think that could possibly leave, I wouldn't be surprised if Adelican leaves. I wouldn't be surprised at that because obviously, he's been he's been showing his qualities as of late. But obviously, I think we all expect, brand new faces and to raise the funds even more and really get the quality that we need to really add to this team and really add to our squad. But one thing for sure, it's about backing and supporting Skubala. It's not that we want him out. I don't want him out because obviously, I see a few Imps fans calling for his head. But, listen, some people will say that we're not going to get anywhere with Skubala. That's just dead-born pessimistic and dead-born negative. I see us going somewhere with Skubala. And it's about trusting him and it's about backing him. And sure as hell, I've got optimistic backing for Skubala, and he will lead us and get us back to where we need to be and get us back into form. But like I said, obviously, big up Freddie Draper and coming back and being recalled. I'm thrilled for him and he deserves to be back and really deserves to be taking his opportunity and really, really nailing that first starting 11 spot. And why not the best place for him to do it against Wickham? And if Skubala gives him that opportunity, I think we're going to have a very massive, massive gem on our hands. Even though I think maybe an experienced head is properly needed on a short-term deal, just to give that experience to Draper. And even though he's gained all of that. But anyways, thank you for watching my Imps View podcast show. See you soon. Up the Imps.